Good day everyone, the focus of this video is all about the life of put drivers during the amidst of COVID-19 pandemic and the trend, network, and critical thinking in 21st century skills, and also about the technical vocational na sulati. The COVID-19 caused a variety of social, economic, and environmental changes. During the COVID-19 pandemic until now, it is evident that the transport industry, especially to the put drivers here at Ikapalong, Davao del Norte, was the most affected in the economical level. The travel restrictions that were put in place to minimize the spread of the virus hindered the capability of put drivers to transport passengers from different places around Ikapalong and the freedom of movement. As a result, transportation revenues dropped significantly. Therefore, transport or put drivers' income were deducted. Other put drivers were laid off due to the few passengers and losing some amount of fare compared before the pandemic. Put tricycle is an environmentally friendly because it is no longer uses oil gas to operate it because manpower is only used to make it travel. Put transportation is one of the big contributors to our economic industry, particularly in the municipality of Kapalong, to make it easier and earlier for people to be able to do their duties on time. When the COVID-19 pandemic happens, they are one of those affected because their habits have been changed a lot before the COVID-19 than now. Their passenger capacity has been reduced, so their income has also been reduced, as they now have to apply the minimum health protocols of the COVID-19 pandemic. So we can consider them as if they harvested rice a second time in one rice field, scrambling a passenger or decline a passenger because the destination is far away and the fare is low unlike before, and especially when they raise the fares, so many passengers refuse because of the high fare. Now, the COVID-19 situation has positively impacted the way they emote and maintain relationships between their works and the people they serve for. They get to spend their time with their co-put drivers and the passengers and plan their work better. This actually helps they build a better future for both their work, community, and family. As the coronavirus pandemic continues its deadly path, dramatic changes in how people live are reducing some instances of other problems. But there are some positive aspects of the pandemic that they experience in their social, political, economic, cultural, and environmental life. As they hover on every street corner and while patiently waiting for a passenger, it helps them build genuine relationships among the people around them, especially to their passengers, to communicate of what happens, what to do, or how to overcome this immense crisis due to the impact of COVID-19 pandemic that affects their livelihood. We all have been so busy living the life. Many of us have lost those real, genuine moments we have with our loved ones. Sure, maybe they were lucky enough to go for family and to the society bonding every now and then. The development of put transportation systems takes place in a socio-economic context, where the development policies and strategies focus on a physical capital. Recent years have seen a better balance by including human capital issues. When put transport systems are efficient, they provide economic and social opportunities and benefits that result in positive multiplying effects such as better accessibility to local markets, employment, and additional investments. When put transport systems are deficient in terms of capacity or reliability, they can have an economic cost such as reduced or missed opportunities and lower quality of livelihood. Politics plays an important role in any aspects of planning, but none such more than the put transport and investments and policies that go into the constructing the aspects of associated. As with any discipline, politics plays both positive and negative roles in put public transport planning, policies, and investments as it shapes decision-making and the degrees of financial support that is given to each project during this COVID-19 pandemic. The putput has the positive aspects of the pandemic they experience in their environmental. It is because they can minimize the environmental problem. As we can see, the putput does not emit smoke because it does not use gas oil because it is only through manpower. So, during the pandemic, as we're surrounding on this earth, that viruses are already surrounded, the putput is a big help to our environment because this type of transport vehicle is environmentally friendly and only maximum seats capacity and don't have any squeaky seat in it. The poetic elements I could use to tell the story of a putput driver's life during this pandemic is metaphor. Metaphor, as a fundamental way of thinking, has been systematically used to understand a wide range of human experience, especially the life of putput drivers such as time, causation, events, emotions, the self, morality, and disease during this pandemic. As metaphors can provide a framework for thinking about the abstract concepts as well as a complex social and health issues by means of drawing and a drawing on a structured knowledge from a systematically unrelated domain among the life of putput driver. Metaphors seem particularly important in communication during their overtime and cognition because they express, reflect, and reinforce different ways of making sense of various aspects of human lives, especially to their passengers. The use of trend, network, and critical thinking in the 21st century skills provides efficiency in learning. It enables us to think critically and wisely understand pressured situations. It is important in making decisions armed with the knowledge and attitude of the subject molds an individual to be competent and accurate part of society. By keeping up with the trend in our society, it will use constantly be learning new tools, new events to participate, new ways to be efficient. This will give us a wider variety of things to work with. Therefore, we will be able to experiment with more things and use them to generate new ideas by exploring the 21st century. In this context, critical thinking becomes more than a skill. It is a mindset, often requiring a culture shift. For us, educators and learners, we recognize that it is easier to create a culture rather than to shift it. Therefore, we believe that nurturing critical thinking from a young age at school is essential for it to become a constructive, lifelong habit. For example, the putput it uses to increase digitalization. We live in an increasingly digital world, and the putput transportation industry in our local municipality of Kapalong is naturally impacted by this in a big way. Putput transportation can redesign services and products, starting fair income with improvements to putput design for road and rail. This can extend to the cargo-related putput tricycle. Meanwhile, digitalization continues to encourage further improvements to journeys, reducing the need for investments of time, effort, and money to the putput drivers. The relationships between trend and network is that trend is generally the direction in which something is developing or changing. Network an arrangement of intersecting horizontal and vertically lines. Critical thinking is the objective analysis and evaluation of an issue in order to form a judgment. Through networks enable communication for everything of business, entertainment, and research purposes. The internet, online research, email, audio and video sharing, online commerce, live sharing, live streaming, and social networks all exist because of the computer networks. Communication is key in creating human connection. So this world is highly driven by technological advancements that allow us to be more connected than ever. However, it has come with a price. Technology has made our communication easier, not necessarily more meaningful. The development of information and communication technologies, ICT, has a strong potential to transform economies and societies in several ways, such as reducing information and transaction costs, creating new collaborative models to increase the efficiency of workers, promoting innovation, and improving education and access to basic services. Innovation seems to be everywhere in the lives of consumers, in industry and service production processes as well as in the public sector task. Ang pagsagawa ng isang pananaliksik na gamit ang technical vocational na sulatin ay ang pananaliksik ay isa sa mga unang hakbang sa technical na pagsulat. Pagkatapos nating magkaroon ng takdang aralin, magiging responsable tayo sa pagkolekta ng data or information, numerical at di-numerical at gawaing mahalagang impormasyon sa pagkolekta o pagsagawa ng isang pananaliksik. Maaaring magmula ang mga pananaliksik sa iba't ibang lugar kabilang ang on-site data, online at intranet publications, mga panayam, mga library at research at database. Ang technical vocational na pagsulat sa pagsasagawa ng pananaliksik ay nagsisilbing mahalagang kasangkapan sa pakipagtalastasan o paghatid ng mga ideya, pananaw, obserbasyon, tagubilin at mungkahi ng isang tao sa mas lohikal at teknikal na paraan. Ang mga profesional ay kailangang magkaroon ng mahusay na teknikal na kasanayan sa pagsulat, sa paghanda ng mga ulat, presentasyon, dokumentasyon at iba pa. Ang technical vocational na pagsulat ay nakakatulong at nagbibigay ng konteksto sa pagsasagawa ng pananaliksik at pinapayagan ang mga ito na magamit ng tamang proseso at ayon sa nilalayon kung tayo ay magsagawa ng pananaliksik, halimbawa tungkol sa ating ekonomiya. Bagamat maaring hindi imposibleng gumawa at gumamit ng mga kagamitan at proseso nang hindi binabasa ang mga technical na dokumento sa proseso sa paggawa ng pananaliksik gamit ang technical vocational na pagsulat. Ang technical na pagsulat ay nagbibigay ng ilang mga katiyakan na ang pananaliksik ay ginagamit ayon sa ninalayon nito.